When was Selena murdered?
Yeah.
Selena murdered.
Also, that does not mean everyone had access to the internet just because it was around.
We're gonna have to cut out us looking stupid.
Okay, can we talk off mic?
Wait, what is that one podcaster would say? Oh, okay, we're gonna cut to commercial.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Little Miss. For those of you who are new here, my name's Riley. I usually do this podcast with my roommates, Lauren and Taylor. This week's podcast is going to be on parasocial relationships, which is a topic that I chose because I've been thinking about it a lot, and I thought that we'd actually have kind of like each of us would have differing perspectives on it that would all lead to a more interesting conclusion.
Interesting, yeah.
Yes. Can I see the notes that I shared with you? I've been thinking a lot about this because of having the podcast and sometimes the interactions that I get myself into. And I think sometimes I'm hard on people, maybe not hard on people, I'm critical of people in a way that I think I'm like exempt from. But then I was thinking about it, I'm like, actually, I might not be exactly like that, but I think to an extent, a lot of people have like a parasocial relationship with someone.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read the definition of a parasocial relationship.
Okay.
A parasocial relationship is a one-sided connection or imagined relationship with a person or entity that you do not know personally, like a celebrity or fictional character. While entertaining and sometimes beneficial, they can also be problematic, especially if they start to overtake real-life relationships or lead to misinterpretations. So that's going to be the basis for the episode, is the definition, and then we're going to go in and kind of discuss what we think about it. What do you guys think of the definition? Is that what you had in your head for parasocial?
Yeah, I'd say that's about what I thought.
Okay.
I think in my brain, I'm like, it has to be a one-sided thing, right? Where you're like,
yes,
like, you know,
I think the key's the one-sided.
You know intellectually that like they don't know who you are, but you care about them as if they are a friend.
Yeah.
As if they're real. Or an enemy.
True. Actually, that's an interesting flip side.
Yeah.
Like hating.
Because that's a question you asked of like, it'll come back toward the end, but like if we felt like we had any parasocial relationships, and I can only think of negative ones where I'm like, no, hilarious. I'm not friends with any of them. I am enemies.
Because I always think of it as like adoring, like an obsession. That is funny that it could also be a hatred.
And I'm like, no, if we met on the street, it's on sight. And I'm like, it's not fair. I don't know them, but I do hate them.
Hey, period. And they probably deserve it.
And they probably do.
And if you knew them in real life, it'd probably be the same.
You know what? That's what I stand by, and that's my parasocial issue.
So, what do you guys think of the benefits? Because also I had AI kind of write some of this, like, not write, but condense. So here's what ChatGPT told me are some of the benefits of a parasocial relationship. Okay. 1, easing loneliness. They can provide a sense of companionship and connection. I do think that's true, and I do think I do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think there's like definitely podcasters where I'm like, oh, well, if they think this, or if I can listen to them, I'm fine, I'm okay.
Right.
Yeah. Like sometimes the stories they tell make you feel better.
Yes.
Agreed. I think it's easy and not necessarily harmful to project certain things onto people like that, as long as you do know where to rein it in.
Mm-hmm. Okay, learning and validation. You might learn from or feel validated by the action or words of the person you have a parasocial relationship with.
Like that loops back in with what you were saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You find them relatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
And then when it's something relatable that's being shared on like such a large platform, it's like, oh, it's like, it makes you feel more normal.
Yes.
Yes.
It normalizes whatever your thoughts and behaviors are.
And then it's like positive reinforcement where you feel more normal and you feel better listening to it. So then you keep listening to it to have that same feeling.
Yeah. Right.
Positive role modeling, which I think is similar to what we just talked about. And then wish fulfillment. You may imagine yourself in their position or experiencing their life.
That's what I thought was most interesting, because when I was first reading your notes, I thought they put that in the negative spot, but he lists it as a pro.
And that is, to me, like a dangerous game to play. Of like projecting at a certain level does become unhealthy. Of like, you can't be them. You know that, right?
And I think to like a certain extent, everyone does that. Like, for example, when you're like watching the Olympics, I think everyone thinks like, oh, like that would be so cool if I could like play that sport at that level.
Right.
Or like, I'm sure everyone has thought about one point about like, oh, it'd be kind of cool to be like famous. But I feel like it does cross the line where if you're only thinking about that all the time and like pretending to be them, I don't know. Do you think it can actually help you like reach your goal? Because that's what it makes it sound like. Like if you think about it, you can actually get there.
I mean, the positive column gives the impression that it does. And I think to a certain extent it could.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because I feel like it's kind of like a manifestation thing where it's not exactly like it, but you kind of have your vision board.
Yeah.
But it's just like way more involved because you get to see that person and like get facts about their lives and more of their details, like more than just a vision board. But I think it's a similar concept.
True. I could see it going the other way too, where like so many people, especially with like the entertainment industry, I feel like they look at it and they're like, oh, well, they did it, so like I could also be a famous actor.
Yeah.
And I don't think they realize like behind the scenes, like the connections and like the money that those people come from.
True. The Nepo babies.
Yes.
We just watched He's Just Not That Into You, which was actually a pretty good movie, but I was thinking of that when you were saying that, of like, they're the exception, not the rule.
Yes.
Like, everyone's like, oh, well, I know somebody who became an actor. Like, they did it, and they started with nothing, and they were homeless, and they now are this, very successful multi-million
And they always have a story like that that they share. And so you're always like, oh, like, I could do that. That could be me. And maybe it's an unrealistic expectation.
Like, they're the exception, not the rule, and you think you're also the exception. But most people are not.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. And then I was also talking with the girls about this when I brought this up, that there's this weird thing now where because of like podcasts and social media, it's not just how celebrities used to be where you'd see them on like magazines or in interviews, like on TV.
Right.
Like now, like in a format just like this, you learn so much about those people.
Yeah. Before you would like only see them in like their professional settings of like in an interview or like on a red carpet, and now like they post photos like at their house.
Yes, and you get like the intimate stories of their life, and like, so I do think it kind of can mess with the wish fulfillment thing, and the fact that like you think you know them so well because you do, but you don't see the behind the scenes.
Yeah. And I'm sure it has worsened with social media because you follow them like with your friends and family. Like there's no like separation. Like when you scroll on your feed.
I didn't think about that. Yeah,
you're like scrolling through your feed and it's like your best friend in real life, and then the next one's like Kendall Jenner. Like there's no.
And you're like, well, just a couple of buds.
Just a couple of besties.
Yeah, you're like in your head, it's like this is that's true. I didn't think about that. I guess I can see why this is kind of an issue. So we also have some examples, and I told the girls to kind of like think of their favorite examples of this like parasocial relationship, and so let's get into it. Lauren has a couple. You can start.
I think one I put on there was back when Selena was murdered, and it was by a woman who claimed to be like the professor, like the president of her fan club.
Oh yeah,
like she was very obsessed with her, and I don't actually know all the details, but I think didn't it come back around to, was she upset that she didn't give her attention, or was it more like if I can't have you, no one can?
And kind of both.
Yeah.
I did listen to a podcast on that actually. A while
You're like
ago.
with my best friends.
With my best friends.
People I know intimately and closely.
No, but like it's been a minute, so I don't remember everything either. But I do remember that she was basically stalking her, was like obsessed with her. It wasn't that she hated her, it's that she was like loved her.
Yeah, she was like obsessed with her.
Like not like romantically, but like she was so obsessed with her and did kind of want to be her. And she did insert herself into her life.
Yeah, wasn't she like her manager at one point? Or
really?
Like she inserts herself into her life. I don't think she's quite the manager, but she is like with the family. She's actively involved in a lot of stuff, and she did have some title or position. And then like they figured out she's stealing money. Like she was like skimming.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then Selena fired her because she was stealing from her. And that was why she killed her, is because like she was going to lose that connection to Selena.
Well, why'd you steal the money? That's crazy. What a side quest.
Yeah, no, I don't think she thought that through. But
you're like, I have a complete ministry. I do need to eat.
Yeah.
Period. And
like,
that's
crazy
like an
behavior.
extreme, but it did happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also like that happened before social media.
True.
You
Yeah,
know,
that one was well before.
Before when there actually was a fan club where you had to like get sent a box of stuff.
Yes.
Like that's
Wait, you got sent what?
like if you joined this club, they would send like you paid a membership to be a part of a fan club where they would send you like t-shirts and merch, and like you got exclusive access to things.
Oh, interesting. I
Like
didn't
this
realize.
was,
It's before my time, Taylor. Come on.
well, I mean, it's before my time too, really, Jesus. But yeah, I mean, this is like pre-internet.
Okay.
So
Wasn't it? When was this? Was it? I thought it was the 90s.
I also thought it was the 90s, but again, I
said,
don't have access to the internet right now.
like I said, pre-internet.
Oh, well then I don't know. Is it the 80s?
We had internet
it's
in the
90s.
90s.
Look it up. No.
When did
Look
There
we-
up.
was some internet in the 90s. I'm not saying it was like what we have now.
When was internet invented?
We always look dumb. Like, and right now I can't use my phone. So like I have no fact checking abilities.
Riley's looking it up.
The internet, as we know it today, officially began on January 1st, 1983,
Okay.
when
Well,
the
when did
Defense
she-
Data Network adopted.
Okay.
When was Selena murdered?
Yeah.
Selena.
Also,
Murray.
that does not mean everyone had access to the internet
We're
just
gonna have
because
to
it
cut-
was around.
Gonna have to cut out us looking stupid.
Okay, can we talk off mic?
Wait, what is that one podcast I would say? Oh, okay, we're gonna cut to commercial.
Let's cut to an ad.
Let's cut to an ad.
She died in 1995. It's hard being right.
Hey, yeah, we said 90s, and you tried.
Okay.
It is really difficult to be correct so
All right.
often.
You guys were right on this one. However, it was not widespread
No,
internet.
No,
this
it
was-
wasn't. And you're correct that it was before, like, the fan club was a box.
and it wasn't
Right.
social media. Like,
No, like, and this is like before when people still had dial-up. You know,
Yeah.
like people weren't using like internet regularly as like.
and they
something
didn't
you
have like
had all the time.
smartphones. Like, it was very
Yeah.
different.
It's a very
Yeah.
different time, and I was wrong, but I think the point stands.
She died outside the Days Inn motel in Texas.
I remember that
A
in the
rough
movie.
thing.
That's like triple whammy.
Actually, the movie is very accurate. I
Dying,
didn't know that.
Days Inn, and Texas. Just so we're all clear, the third was dying.
Brutal.
Anyway,
Yeah, the least of our concerns there was the dying part.
okay, sorry, keep going.
Well, I learned in the podcast that the movie was actually pretty accurate to what happened.
Everything I know about that is only from the movie.
Like, it's not, like shot for shot, but like very similar. And so,
It's
like,
not live action.
well, okay, you know what I meant.
Yes, I do.
What it's like to be bullied on your sister's podcast. What a day. What a time.
you bullied us first, to be
Okay.
fair.
To be fair, we never bully you. That's crazy. Okay, the next one, the one I do want to hear about is the Ariana Grande girl, because this one sent a shiver up my spine.
It's crazy.
This one might actually be the definition of parasocial.
Let me-
like wanting to become someone.
Here, you can use this.
Yeah, does anyone have her name? Let me look it up real quick.
I'm like, here, it's so generous. Use this device.
Use
It's not mine.
Taylor's. Ariana Grande. Okay, so this girl, if anyone wants to look it up on TikTok, her name is Paige Neiman. And like all of her content, like her entire presence online is looking exactly like Ariana Grande.
And she
like,
does.
And like she follows it to like what she looks like present day. So like when she dyed her hair blonde, this girl dyed her hair blonde. Like she follows the like eras and she'll like wear the exact like outfits and then she'll like talk like her. So like when I say lookalike, I don't mean like she just happens to look like Ariana Grande. Like it's a dedicated.
It's not like one of those people that just like shows up to a Timothy Chalamet lookalike contest.
Exactly.
It's like this is her life.
And like it's uncanny. Like sometimes you look at her and it could be her, and then you look a little bit closer and it's this other
Yes,
girl.
I think I've been fooled before.
And the problem is, there's like you can't tell her that she can't do it.
Right.
She's not technically breaking the law. That's the definition of like, well, technically.
Yeah, like it's very creepy
You're on
and
freak
invasive.
behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's not even
You're
using...
teetering.
Yeah, it's a line, and you are crossing it. But like, what are you gonna do? Like, you can't look like Ariana Grande.
I did have this like idea in my head that Ariana Grande, because she gets, stalked so often by this girl,
Yeah.
Uno reverse stalks her, then kills her because she gets so obsessed with her. There's a
Plot
and you know what?
twist.
I could see it happening.
A
Someone
plot
make that a
twist.
movie.
If there was some girl on TikTok who was looking at my daily style and being like, or like even if it's bad, and she's like, I have to grow out my roots because Riley did.
Literally. They don't tweeze their eyebrows. Like
Oh my God.
No, I'd be mad.
They start eating my cookies. They're like, yeah, I gotta skip the gym this week.
Gotta go up a pant size.
Oh my God.
Like crazy.
I think that might be when homicide is legal.
crazy
It's
stuff.
like
No jury would convict you.
no jury would convict me. That's abuse. Ew.
Yeah,
Yeah,
self-defense at that point.
insane.
Has
behavior.
Ariana Grande ever like commented on it?
I don't know.
Because I would comment.
Say some stuff. I'd be mad.
Oh, to be
I
fair,
would be upset.
The problem is you'd make her day.
exactly.
Yeah.
If you acknowledge her, you're giving her what she wants.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
You're rewarding the behavior.
I feel like Kim Kardashian, when like she's trying to like sue Roblox for like using her likeness, like that's the vibe where I'm like, can you like? There must be something. There must be
yeah,
something I
yeah.
can
I've
do.
seen some crazy court cases.
Yeah, I'd be
You're saying there's nothing here?
I'd
Yeah.
be real petty if I was Ariana Grande. But
Honestly. Yeah, that one's insane.
I think that one definitely crosses the line into unhealthy.
There's a girl that does that with Taylor Swift too, right?
yeah, I don't think she looks as similar, but yes.
It's the same concept, yeah.
What a weird
Question:
thing to do.
Do you think? Because clearly she had to start doing this before she had a platform. But do you think she just continues it because it's so shocking and she gets so many views from it? Like, do you think she actually has like an obsession with Ariana Grande, or at this point has she just found this like rage bait niche where she can make a lot of money? The problem is it had to start before you had a platform.
It had to, yeah. I also think the problem with that question is that we're applying it to a specific scenario, but the concept of that applies to social media in general. Where it's like, do you actually believe this, or are you doing this for rage bait for clicks?
For the clickbait.
Like, and I think it's a question that's generally, I don't know. I think a lot of time it's for clicks.
Yeah.
But with something that crazy,
It's still
I feel
freak
like,
behavior.
yeah,
It's freak
yeah.
behavior.
I think she might actually believe it.
Get your bag, but at what cost?
Yeah,
What
honestly,
cost?
God.
I mean, at this point, you must have enough money. Like, you gotta stop someday. You gotta stop
Yeah.
doing this.
This is what the Bible meant when they said gluttony and greed.
Agreed.
Ugh. Oh God. Ugh. Okay, we need to move on from that one. The One Direction fan that got into the footage at the hotel.
So this one, I haven't seen this like genuinely confirmed. Like people talk about this on Twitter, and
Okay.
there are photos of like security camera footage, and it's like the One Direction members. But I haven't seen like an actual news story confirming. So I don't know how we got the footage.
Okay.
Like I feel like them hacking into it could be an exaggeration. I haven't seen like a reliable news source say that.
When
Right.
was this?
Like at their prime.
Okay, so this was like
like 2014, 2012, 2014.
okay.
But I don't know how they got the footage, but there would be like footage of them like in their elevator at their hotel, like going up. And they would like post this online and like people would watch it.
Like, where you getting the pics?
Yeah, or it would be like them in like the like hotel like hallway, like walking around, and there would be like videos of it. Because people were like so obsessed that they were like getting footage of them. Like
But it
not
was
on the
from
street.
the hotel cameras, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
I'm
security
they're
cameras.
sending it.
No,
I'm like,
literally.
so who's the one person at a camera in the hallway? Okay.
See, that's the
Okay, but
thing.
no, that is crazy.
I'm like, was this just it probably was just released. Like I don't know that someone
Yeah.
stole it.
Yeah. But
But they
even
might have.
then,
But it's still crazy.
it is crazy.
There are people that just like literally follow their favorite bands from concert to concert. That's all they do.
We
That's
should
all they do.
talk about the niche of like boy band,
Yeah.
or honestly just like with musicians in general. I feel like it's higher than with like actors.
Yeah.
Maybe because
Yeah.
you listen to their music every day.
True. You can have it on like in the background.
Because like Swifties,
No, Swifties are like we could honestly do a whole episode on Swifties.
I think we did.
Yeah.
We did it on Taylor Swift. I don't know if we did one
True.
on like her fans.
Yeah. I was
Because
gonna
that's a
say-
different breed.
They are. And I was going to say, like, Swifties probably fall under the more normal, like, idea of what parasocial is, where it's not, like, necessarily unhealthy. Like,
Yeah.
some of them push
Some
the
of
line,
them
but,
are,
like,
yeah.
the vast majority are just, like, really obsessed with Taylor Swift.
And I think Taylor Swift is another example of like playing into it because she'll leave like the Easter eggs and like
True, she
one
does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she hasn't done one in a long time, but she used to have fans come like listen to the album like at her house.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like she really
Oh my
feeds
God.
into the like we're actually friends thing, and it's genius.
Yeah, she found her niche with that, and it has worked for her.
Yeah.
I think the same thing though, where Taylor Swift is a billionaire now. Like, at what point are you done with this?
When do you
Like, at what point do you stop intricately leaving Easter eggs like in your albums?
When do
If
you
you
tap out?
personally don't love it, like, you must also enjoy this.
Yeah, she must find
She
it fun.
must. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think the Ariana Grande girl, you can't really call that art. That's just freak behavior.
Yeah.
Whereas what Taylor Swift does, like making music, oftentimes people like that do find reward in the art that they create.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
I'm assuming she likes her own music,
Yeah.
or she wouldn't put it out.
True.
True.
At this point, she doesn't have to.
Yeah, no, at this point she doesn't. So that's
Most
fair.
of the fan groups that have like a name, like the One Directioners or the Swifties or
Yes.
like Beliebers,
Yes.
it's always like an art, like a musician.
Yeah.
Like that rarely is like any other kind of public figure. I feel like that breeds a very specific kind of like craze.
Agreed. I think the equivalent of that with men, and it is different because it's more of an entity than an individual, but it's sports.
That's true.
Men have such a fanatic devotion to a team that they, like, the same level as a Swiftie, where, like, some of them, they go to every single game. They'll have season tickets. They're sat. They're invested in who the players are, who's getting traded, who the general managers
I think some
are.
of them also have names like that too. I
I
can't.
mean, yeah.
I cannot think of a single one right now.
They
but
have
yeah.
like
There are men who...
songs and like rituals. Like there's all
Yeah.
kinds of things you do if you're a
I
fan of a
was
sports club.
thinking earlier
Yeah.
that it also fell into wish fulfillment. Like, we joked about this earlier, of like, I'm gonna lead the Super Bowl to victory.
Yeah.
But it kind of is that, where it's like, well, so many men genuinely, honest to God, like, look at football and are like, it could definitely be me.
Yeah.
Or they like give their thoughts and opinions as if
Oh
they're
my
actually-
God.
as if they're actually a coach, but like they're not kidding.
And that's
No,
the
they're
thing,
not
They're
like,
like they
kidding.
should have done this.
They
and
should have
would've
tapped
won.
me in.
they're like, could I have been a player? Maybe not. I could have been a coach.
Pass the
I-
headset. It's like, what are you talking about?
No, you couldn't.
Like, that's
No.
What are you talking about?
False.
Ugh. But yeah, I do think that that would probably be like the male equivalent.
Yeah, of the specifically like musicians to, like that type of fanaticism.
Yeah.
Where you have like a club and like a group that you engage with, and that they all reinforce this behavior in each other.
Yeah.
Not that there aren't men who like Taylor Swift, but like as a general rule, it's mostly women.
This is also interesting. I feel like it's getting slightly into cultish vibes, which is
Yeah.
a book that we read one time, because with football teams, there's also this thing where like you can't switch.
No.
Yeah.
You can't, like, if you're born a Raiders fan, you die a Raiders fan.
I've seen there's this, it's the Hot Ones show, and they'll like make them do different things. You have to eat a hot wing, and a question they ask a lot is if they know someone's like a big fan of a sports team, they'll be like, say 3 nice things about this other sports team.
The rival team.
And I have yet to see, like, every time they would rather eat the hot wing than like come up with 3 nice things about the other team. Like it's like a devotion.
You know
Yeah.
who just did that? Haley Steinfeld.
Actually, she did say
She
3
did
nice
say
things.
she came up with 3 nice things, and
Isn't she marrying Josh Allen?
Yes.
yeah, and she came up with 3 nice things about the rival team,
That is true.
and I was impressed.
That's true.
No, but like I,
They pulled the Satan thing we just talked about.
yeah,
Well, the devil never quits working. It's like, okay.
You know?
You
But I
really
do-
dug for that.
I do agree. Like most of them won't even do it.
Yeah, which
Like
is crazy.
the devotion is
Yeah,
crazy.
there is a devotion. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and some
Which
of them
I get.
do.
I hate the Raiders because I'm a Broncos fan. I'm not. I've been there.
You're not
but-
immune.
No.
And some do follow like actual players too, where like they know all the stats and like the numbers that come with them. But I think like the vast majority are devoted mostly to the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. The next 2 on the list I'm actually very excited for. The 5th one that we're going to get into is really good, and I didn't think about it. But let's do number 4. When fans bully an actor for the role that they play in a show.
It's crazy.
It is
Yeah.
crazy, and it is very parasocial, kind of in the negative aspect, where it's like, I think I know you, and you've done something bad, so you must
Yeah.
have done it A, to me,
Yeah.
and B, screw you.
The weirdest part about that is it's not. I'm not talking like reality TV. It's like
No,
a
it's
character.
yes.
Yeah, like the actor is playing a character, but people will hop online and bully the actor.
And
yes.
they'll like leave death threats in the actors' like comments because they played a character that like killed a character they liked.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
again, it's all make believe. None
Yeah.
of this actually happened. They're just doing a job.
Yeah.
And like if you want to bully someone, like again, don't bully anyone, okay? But like you could bully the writers. Like the actor
you
did
could
not
leave,
make
like, death
this
threats for them.
choice.
Yeah.
They are just following a script. But people like in their brains have a hard time separating it. We're like, that person who did this terrible thing is also the same person in real life. And you're like, that's not, one is a fake, it's a character.
Yeah.
And one
It
is a
is a
real human
character.
person.
Yeah.
Actors are in an interesting position because they're like the face of the movie. So like it's never like the writers or like if the director's really like famous, like Quentin Tarantino maybe.
Right.
True.
But most of the time no one is paying as much attention to them unless you're like a real film fan.
Right.
It's like the actors that get most of the adoration as well.
Yes.
So
yeah,
they'll
but it
get a
goes
lot
both
of praise.
ways.
If the
Yeah.
movie's good, they'll get most of the praise, but they'll get the hate for it too.
Even though it really has nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
Like they do just read the script.
And a lot of it, again, like obviously an actor's ability also comes into effect, but comes down to like how well a villain is written. Like Michael B. Jordan's not getting hate for playing Killmonger in Black Panther because it's a really well written villain, and like nobody's mad about it. Like I don't
also
know.
think it depends on the fan base of the show.
That's
True.
true.
Like there could be a show. Yeah, it just depends on the fan base.
I will say, there is a show out right now called The Last of Us, and it's all over like social media right now where there's an actress in it who is playing a character who, spoiler alert, kills
Spoiler,
another
dun, 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 which
kills another character who is very
a main
beloved by the
character.
fan base.
Yeah.
And she is getting a lot of hate for that and getting a lot of death threats for that. And I do think it's interesting that a majority of the fan base for that show are gamers. They're
See,
men.
that's the thing. That's what I was thinking about. Where I'm like, that is a really rough show because it's based on a video game.
Yeah.
To do that too, because they're not always tapped into reality.
No, like a lot of them are gamers who are men, and I'm like, don't come for us if you are a gamer and a man. But I do think that can be a group of people who are sometimes a little bit more checked out from reality, who might not be able to separate like an actor from a character.
Yeah. Although I will say, any like true gamers that watch that show would have known it was coming,
True,
That's true.
and that's so I think that might factor in.
true.
The
It's
other way.
possible that like that's not.
But I do
true.
think that you're on something with that. I definitely don't disagree.
We were just talking about a different show where this was happening too, where like
Yeah. What was
the
other one?
actor was getting a lot of hate for something they did, and I can't remember what it was.
The one I'm thinking of, I don't think I had said out loud. Do you remember when The Mandalorian, the first season, came out, and there's like those stormtroopers?
Oh my god,
that hit Baby Yoda. Is
yes.
that what you were thinking about?
No, it was not, but that's a great example.
You never even see their faces, Riley. Like I think it was 2 comedians that they hired to do it.
Yeah, it's literally a bit role.
Yeah, you never see their faces. Like they're in the stormtrooper, but they like hit Baby Yoda, and literally like they were told to like go kill themselves.
That's so
Like
interesting.
their.
I mean,
comments
honestly,
were
valid. That would
flooded.
piss me off too.
No, I
We're
was
talking about Baby Yoda. Actually,
Yeah,
but
lay
yeah.
off.
Yeah.
but also
That's
like,
crazy.
That's crazy. What were their names?
yeah.
hey, type that up.
What's their handle?
No, but like
yeah.
they were just playing the character. They were not and Baby Yoda's a puppet. Like that's not real.
Hey now. Hey now.
Yeah, let's calm down on that.
There's more. I
Yeah,
just
there
can't
is,
Think of them.
but still, it does happen more frequently than it should. Is basically the point, and it's really weird. So maybe cut that out.
I think it's this weird thing where people forget. It almost like goes too far the other way, where instead of thinking of them as like they're my best friend, like they are, like we're buds. They're thinking of them as like not people anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where like they've dehumanized an actor or musician to the point where like they're just an object,
Yeah,
and they don't see any like real world effect upon them. And I was thinking about that too. Like I don't know if it falls under the parasocial umbrella, so you can cut this if you want to. But like Brendan Fraser, Michael Weatherly, that kid who played Anakin, all of them got so bullied by fans over either the role they played or their physical appearance that like they all went off the grid for
You're
years.
talking about Hayden Christensen? And you just said that guy
No,
who played
the kid who
Anakin?
played the kid.
Oh,
Like,
okay, I was
the
like-
little
Okay,
Not
yeah.
Hayden
Yeah, I don't know
Christensen.
that kid's name either.
no, like the little boy, but like he got so bullied he quit acting
Why?
Yeah.
because people hated his portrayal. And I'm like, you have beef with a 10-year-old.
That's a child.
Like,
Oh,
what's
that's
wrong
so-
with you?
Yeah,
Like he's never acted again because of how awful that was.
Wow.
And then like Brendan Fraser and Michael Weatherly, like that was a different scenario of they both gained weight at a certain point,
yes,
and
I
like
do know about Brendan Fraser.
and they both
Who's
bullied
Michael
them.
Weatherly?
He's from Prison Break.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. And they got bullied so hard on social media where people would like take pictures of them and like post them to all these accounts and like spam accounts of just like them being fat, which is an insane thing
so
to do.
rude.
No, that's actually crazy.
Yeah.
Stuff like that does blow my mind, whether or not it falls into the parasocial relationship, which I think it definitely dips its toe.
I think it's almost the other extreme of it, but yeah.
What are you talking about? Do you know how many people I can't stand
Yeah.
that I've never made hate accounts for?
No, like,
True.
And there's time.
who has the time to do that?
Yeah.
Like to just sit there and be like, you know who's fat and ugly? Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, like
Okay.
that. It's almost as if like you do think of them as like a personal adversary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like to be able to make a hate account specifically for them in that fashion of like taking on something so personal. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you genuinely think like he's an enemy.
Yeah.
And
You
he
think-
doesn't know who you are.
He doesn't know you. And like you're not even like commenting on him as a person. It's
Yeah.
just his physical appearance, which is also like a step too far of like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You
No,
have
it's
nothing
terrible.
better to do?
It's crazy.
Terrible.
Yeah. But that was one I was thinking of kind of in that same vein of just like bullying actors or musicians, people in entertainment.
Yeah. No, that's good. The last one on our list, which I do think is a really good one because this was absolutely insane. It's very current. The Outer Banks drama with Rudy and Madison, where the fans were absolutely like blowing their relationship like out of the water.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or
And
they were all being
inferring things.
Yes,
and
they were being like, well, their partners feel this way and that way. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You don't know them.
They do say it as if like they're part of like a group chat with them, and they're
Yes,
like, "Yes,
yes.
this girlfriend feels this way about it, and that's why this happened." She's never spoken on anything
no.
publicly.
It's like they act like they hit up the girlfriend in a group chat. And
Yes,
we're
as if
"Hey."
they're friends. Which, for context, it's a Netflix show with like teenagers. But essentially, there was a big issue with one of the
actors.
girl actors and one of the boy actors where they like couldn't be on set anymore, and people were like drawing all these conclusions because suddenly in scenes where they're supposed to be dating, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. They're using like stunt doubles for like sitting. Yeah, that's insane. But basically, people were like, "Oh, it's a love triangle, and it's because of this and that. And it's because of their partners don't like the way they treat each other, and it's because they're too close and they have like separate." It was crazy.
Yeah.
We were reading a lot between the lines and saying a lot of things as if they were fact,
Yes.
and none of the actual
Yes.
people involved have ever made a statement.
No.
Yeah.
And then we have talked about this on a different podcast. Like we have addressed it, but the whole thing started because the fans shipped them so hard.
Yeah.
That
True,
was
it
the
started
start
with
of
a
it.
parasocial relationship. Yeah.
Yeah, like the disillusion of that friendship and like all of the aftermath, also parasocial. The beginning, starting is parasocial of like people making them fan accounts and like doing all these edits and
saying
like
they should be together.
not the characters, the actors.
The actual actors. Yeah.
And like she's a lesbian.
Yeah, that was also a pretty damning piece of evidence.
Yeah.
that
She's
is
not,
often not included. And that's where it gets weird too, because it's like you pick and choose the information.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there is a pretty big fat piece of information available to you and you're still excluding it from the narrative.
Yeah.
People do get very invested specifically in actors' relationships.
Yes.
And they'll
Actually,
cling onto it even after they've like broken up.
Yeah.
Like years later, they're still making edits.
Yeah.
Or they're still saying like, "Oh, I hope they find their way back to each other."
Yes.
yeah. I was
Which,
just-
by the way, if I was dating someone and they did that thing, like the whole like Selena, Justin Haley thing,
Yes.
I would
Or
absolutely
like role
destroy
model
you.
and Emma Chamberlain.
Yes.
Everyone's
yes,
like,
that was
yes.
another one where it's crazy. Like the edits, they still roll up about that.
Yes.
She has a boyfriend.
Or two people, kind of like what we were talking about with
Mm-hmm.
Outer Banks, they'll be like co-stars who are both in relationships that like people know about.
Yes.
And they completely disregard it.
Yes,
And they're like, no,
yeah.
because they laugh a lot in their press tour, you guys need to be together.
Yes.
no, you guys have clear chemistry. They're in love. They have to be together. They're doing this for the camera.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying they don't like they hate each other. They might enjoy each other's company. This is a bit they're doing for the camera.
It's a bit.
It's a bit. Yeah, if I was them, no way. I'd strap a
Or-
bomb to my chest.
No, actually, I can't. You have to be a strong person to date a successful actor or
Yeah,
actress.
yeah.
Like that, you gotta be another level.
Yeah, or just go off the grid. Go Brendan Fraser on them
Yeah.
because you don't want to see what's on
don't
TikTok.
don't view that content.
No.
Or anytime I've seen it specifically with actors, but I'm sure it goes the other way with actresses. If they're super attractive, they like almost can't show anyone they're talking to or dating because they will automatically get hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like people will automatically be like, "That's my man." Girl,
Or-
what?
Yes.
Or like, she's ugly. Like, she's
Oh
not
yeah,
even
you
that
know
pretty.
another one that was weird was
Oh.
Nicholas Chavez and
Yes.
his yeah.
Everyone hated his girlfriend because they thought he was super hot, and so they're
Yes.
like, "Ew, like he should be single. She's ugly."
Yeah, they sent a crazy amount of hate that girl's way
Yes.
No.
for just being a person.
Nicholas
She's
Chavez
just
doesn't
existing.
know who you are, and he never will.
No, he never
No.
will.
And if
And
he
hey, listen, I already grieved that.
Yeah.
exactly.
Let it go.
I already
I'm
went-
not saying it doesn't hurt.
I'm on step 5 right now, okay? Like, you guys need to get
Y'all
there.
gotta get to acceptance, okay?
Yeah, no.
And it
God.
hurts, but whether he has a girlfriend or not doesn't increase or decrease your chances of dating
It was
him.
never gonna happen.
It's never gonna
It was
happen,
never.
babe.
It was never gonna be you.
It's never gonna be you.
God. This brings us slightly into the personal examples of parasocial relationships, which is the last part. And this is where I air myself out, where I say like, oh, I'm so obsessed with Bob Morley. Like,
Deeply.
I'm deeply obsessed with Bob Morley, and I follow him, and unfortunately, I probably follow his wife. And like,
speaking of hating someone,
yeah, like this is the interesting transition into what would be, the same thing that I do.
We swivel the mirror and it becomes a
This is
selfie.
where we become,
A quick turnaround.
But I definitely do that, where I'm like, he shouldn't even be in there. Shut up,
She's
they're
not even that
They're
pretty.
married with a kid. Go
No,
die.
I do get sad.
And I do, I get
Actor has a
upset.
girlfriend, I'm like, oh.
Yes, I get upset. It kind of like bums me out. And so that's where I'm like, I'm not completely exempt from this,
No.
but also sit down.
Yeah, I love to be on my soapbox, but also, but you know what I've never done is type any single one of these thoughts into any of their comment sections.
You know what I've never done is make an
Yeah.
account.
I've never said anything nice or anything mean in any of their
Yes,
comment sections.
yes.
What's his wife's name?
Eliza.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't even remember. Eliza.
But you're not like hopping on a post saying like, you're an ugly girl and
Yeah.
I hope you die in a car accident. Like, what's wrong with
Yeah,
you?
what is wrong with you? And they have a kid too, which by the way, I don't like that. By the way, just so we're all clear, I'm pissed, I'm upset, and I do think about this. But I can't be like, you should never been born. What?
No.
What's wrong with you?
That's
Also, you
wild.
should never should have me.
But also like,
Like, I'm not gonna type it, you guys.
But
I'm gonna
those
say
are
it.
our inside thoughts.
Yes.
Yes, you guys are.
Those are just
freaks.
thoughts for the podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you guys have any personal examples?
I think this brings another side of it is the very specific perfect storm of when you're like a middle schooler.
Yes.
And that prefrontal cortex is nowhere near developing.
No.
That is when I feel like I had genuine, like, what's the word we've been using? Why did I just forget it?
Parasocial.
Yes. That's when
Yeah.
I feel like I had genuine parasocial relationships where, like, you were obsessed.
Yeah.
Again, I think I have, like, what Riley has now. We're all thinking actors like cute and you're
Yeah.
like, disappointed he's dating someone.
Mine's a little stronger. But that was generous. Of you.
Nothing will
Thank
ever
you.
match my, like, 12-year-old energy, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 12 is, like, when my friends were writing, like fan fiction, and like I feel like that age group is when you're like
Yes.
all in,
Yes,
Right.
you're all in.
obsessed.
We had a friend. This is so funny. I'm gonna air her out. This reminded me of when you're 12. She saw the live action version of Peter Pan,
Oh, yeah.
and I know
yeah,
what you're
yeah.
thinking. Not legal, probably. So I'm not gonna say he's a smash, but like, well, he was really cute.
Especially, we were all
at 12.
at
Yes.
12 and we were 12 too.
Yes.
He was very cute.
Gonna pivot though. You think I'm talking about him? No, I'm simply setting the stage. This is the movie.
Oh, right.
She found
I
an
forgot about
extra. She found an extra that was in like 2 scenes
That's crazy.
of that movie. And she was like, I'm in love with him. I'm going to marry him. She found him on Facebook. She sent him messages. His name was Lauren McDonald.
That's insane.
I'm like, and it was actually me.
No. She hunted him like an animal.
Yeah.
See, middle schoolers should all be in jail. Like
Yes.
you're a psychopath at
Yes.
that age.
And we
Yeah.
had access to Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm a biggest fan.
And he's like an extra in 2 scenes. He really
Yeah.
was not in that movie.
I don't even know how she found him.
Yeah, no, you feel like a devastation at that age that
You
you're not going
do.
to be together. Like it feels so real.
It does, yeah.
Riley's like, yeah, only at 12.
Yeah, I'm like, and I definitely agree that.
Yeah. And then, of course, someone in this room I won't name names, but one of us did in fact try to learn a language.
No, guys, when I said obsessed, I meant obsessed. I meant on my hands and knees.
Yes. Tried to learn a language, the native language of an actor.
Why? I don't know. Like, what was that going to do? I do not know.
He probably
guys.
doesn't even know it.
I don't resonate with that child anymore.
Does
She's
Sebastian
dead.
Stan, does he speak Romanian?
He does speak
Yeah.
Romanian.
Gonna lose my mind. I don't know if anyone does. I feel like that was kind of made up.
He does.
Yeah.
And I knew that.
She was locked
Let me
in.
tell you, I was me and Duolingo.
Yeah. Ugh.
I get
God.
it though. I had some hyperfixations.
Yeah, what's yours, Taylor?
Well, see, I thought about this for a while because, like, I don't follow a lot of celebrities like you guys do, or like, I'm not as invested in their real personas.
Yeah.
I get very like invested in characters and things, but like, I know the actor's not that person. I don't really follow them that much.
There's like, I don't really subscribe to that crazy stuff.
No, like
Yeah,
it
y'all
just.
are weird.
I think there's two thoughts in my brain, and one is like. One parasocial relationship I have that is they are my enemy is Finn Wolfhard.
This is true, Taylor.
I
You hate him.
I hate that little punk.
And low-key Timothy Chalamet, but like less hate. You just don't
Agreed.
get
I'm
it.
like, I don't think Timothy Chalamet's hot. I don't actually hate him as a person. Finn Wolfhard, if I saw him on the street, I would actually go up and swing. And it's not fair. It's not fair. Like
He does have an
actually-
exceptionally punchable face.
He does, and he's never done anything to me. We have no actual beef. This is a one-sided beef.
That's so
and
funny.
you would be like the crazy fan.
I would
Yes.
be. Where I'm like,
You'd end up on Dateline.
Ugh,
Yeah.
what a little freak.
Mine is King Charles. Where like doesn't know I exist.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Never
it is.
will. He's
That
an
is-
old man on his like deathbed, and I just don't like him.
That's the equivalent, actually. I feel about Finn Wolfhard the way you feel about King Charles, where it's just like,
Boo.
why are they on my screen? What are you doing here right now? Ugh.
Don't like him.
I don't know if it counts the same, but I've often told the girls that it really bums me out when like I hate someone in real life and they think I'm great.
That's
Yeah.
the
That like
worst.
really bums me
The
out.
worst is when you hate someone and then like they don't even like
Yeah.
you
Who
you
you are.
know each other, like you're in the same
Yeah.
like friend group, but they don't
They
care.
don't even know about you. Yeah.
No.
No.
They don't realize there's a problem.
There's a problem.
Yeah, it's brutal.
And then the other thing I thought of, and it's still like not that much, but if I had a parasocial relationship with anyone, it would be influencers, like on TikTok.
And that also is like part of the problem is that now.
Yeah.
And I was also telling the girls that it's kind of an interesting thing where their whole point is to influence us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
That is their job.
there is like an interesting like part to that now where they do capitalize on it.
Yeah.
They kind of need the parasocial relationship because they're trying to tell us what to do and what to buy.
Yeah.
That's how they're making money.
Yeah.
And then that's why you see so often is they start out so relatable because they are in the same tax bracket as you.
Yes.
Just posting videos on their iPhone.
Yes.
And then as they get more brand deals, they get rich.
Which
and
is
then
gonna be us.
they
They
like
get less relatable.
they lose touch with their audience and it's not
Yeah.
as parasocial because it's not as relatable anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you do need that to keep making money.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I don't actually I don't stalk them, I don't think, but there are a few like accounts on TikTok I am very invested in. Like I watch all their videos, like I am locked in on what they're up to.
Yeah. And I think that brings us full circle to some people that watch this podcast,
Yeah.
which is actually nothing wrong with it, but I do think there's a similar vibe.
I also would never again, you can cut this if you want if it's too mean.
It is true.
Yeah. It's weird. I know like logically this video is not made for me.
I will cut what you just said and I'll
Yeah.
rephrase it in maybe a more politically correct way.
Yeah.
Even though Taylor feels as if she is connected to these accounts and that she's very like interested in what they post, she doesn't necessarily feel like they would be interested in hearing her thoughts on it.
That's actually exactly what I was trying
as
to
if
say.
they're looking for her personal criticism of it.
They're looking for my validation.
Yes, or
They
like
don't
you're
know
trying
me.
to like rough draft. They have a rough draft and you're trying to like proofread it.
Yeah, like
What are
like what'd you think of my last video? They don't care what I
they
thought
don't
of
care
it.
what you think.
No.
Yeah.
Like they care about the overall like people watching and liking it and like enjoying the content. They don't care about me personally hopping on there and being like, I actually love the Gray Man, so I don't know why you left this review. Well, I don't know why you hate this movie so much, and here's all the reasons why you're wrong. They don't care. They don't care.
They don't. Because they don't know you.
They don't know me.
They don't respect you.
They do not.
And they never will.
And they never will.
They never will.
And they keep doing it.
They really do. Hurt my feelings, that video.
I don't like the Gray Man. Taylor's like, yo, screw you. We don't like my fist to your face.
Yeah? Do you like being doxxed?
No, for real.
What I've learned about Taylor is that her parasocial relationship is not adoration. It's very negative. Like,
She's like, oh, I got a flavor of that.
I'll find
that
you.
you're not going to like.
You're my enemy. No, I actually do. That's why it hurts so much, because I actually really like this creator's content, and like he does movie stuff.
And then he betrayed
And
you.
then he betrayed me.
He
But like,
betrayed your trust.
I do still enjoy his stuff, but like anytime he like brings up something I like, but he doesn't like it, I'm like,
Like it was personal.
I'm like, excuse you. What do you mean? I thought we were on the same page. I thought we agreed.
I did feel that way when my favorite podcaster said he didn't like pitbulls.
No, like
Like,
what?
there was a moment where I'm like, and actually, I get online. I'm like, you stupid little.
What do you mean you don't? Like
But then that thing that clicked in my head that said he doesn't care popped
Yeah.
in. And some people really manage to
Some
just
people do
default
not
through
have
that.
that.
Yeah. You really process through that.
Yeah.
Well, closing thoughts on parasocial relationships, and then we do have a trivia segment where Taylor has 3 questions for Lauren and I.
Yeah.
I think this has been an interesting conversation about the pros and the cons.
Yeah,
Agreed.
yeah, I do agree.
I don't think it's all negative, and I think to a certain extent we all do it.
Yes,
I do think we all do
I feel
it
like
to some extent.
Our current society is really geared towards it. It's kind of hard not to.
kind of banking on it in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Spend a lot of money on it.
Yeah, yeah. I
That's
agree.
true.
I think it's just a call to action to everyone to just kind of think about what you're doing.
Yeah. Just
Think about if the
wondering-
Gray Man is really worth it.
Wonder in your brain if they actually care to hear your thoughts and opinions.
Or
Yeah.
what learning their language is going to do. Period. Like,
Like-
Or like if their baby should have been born.
Yeah.
And the answer's
like-
probably.
or if he's going to date you. If his girlfriend, even if his girlfriend is ugly.
yeah, or if she's not a lesbian. Like, what are you talking
What are you
about?
talking about?
Yeah.
I will say there is a line though between like engagement and the parasocial thing where
That's
like
true.
it's not to say you shouldn't engage with these creators or like leave a comment telling them you like their stuff or something.
Yes,
Like,
and by the way, this is a good segment where like I don't want you guys to think you can DM me. Like I would
Yeah.
love if people like and comment and share these videos. I really would.
right, like don't think like you that's somehow like a bad thing to do. It's
No.
just
It's
should
more of
just-
an observation.
It's
it's
the
more of an
essays.
observation.
yeah.
It's more of an observation and just like it's good to keep in mind how you're being perceived by the person on the other end of it. Because there
Yes.
is a person on the other end.
That's another interesting thing about parasocial relationships is that they get so trapped into like how they perceive that person.
Yeah.
They never once think, what does Ariana Grande think of me?
yeah.
Or they never think like, am I going to come across really freaking weird
Right.
doing this?
Or like if Ariana Grande encountered me on the street, would she cross it to avoid me?
Yeah, they don't think about it.
They're like, nah, she would love me.
Yeah.
Nah. In fact, she would see me as her.
That's Oana.
Yeah, that's my girl. We are 2 peas in a pod.
This is kind of getting off topic, but if you were a celebrity, do you think you would play into it? Or do you think you would be those celebrities who low-key hate their fans? They're like, don't talk to me, don't look at me, you're not getting a photo.
Like Anthony Mackie.
Yes.
Anthony Mackie
or
doesn't
like
get photos.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Anthony
Leonardo
Mackie.
DiCaprio is a terrible person in a lot of ways.
really
I don't want to
Hey, the way
encounter
my
him
jaw
ever.
stayed shut.
No.
Yeah.
Or do you think you'd be like a Taylor Swift and like play into it?
See, Anthony Mackie doesn't like hate his fans. Like he will like interact with them at events where like that's his job.
Okay.
Like if he's at a restaurant and they're like just
Just-
out and about and like people come up to him, he's not interacting. Like he's made that very clear. Like he's not going to take a photo with you. He's not going to sign anything. Like if he's just living his personal life, do not interact with him.
See, I think I have an opinion on this that is kind of differentiating from an actor versus an influencer or
Yeah.
podcaster.
Yeah.
Because an actor, I mean, it's not that it's that different, but we go to a movie and we pay to see them, and like there's a few like barriers in place.
Yeah.
And to me, like as like podcasters and influencers, like their fans are why they're there.
Right.
So if
It's almost like direct contact is to your success is from your fans, and I think you should act like it.
okay.
Yeah.
So if you were an influencer, you feel like you would owe it to them more than if
Just
you were
a little bit, yeah. Of like I truly would have nothing if you guys didn't interact with my content,
And you have to keep interacting.
and
with
you
it,
have to
so
keep
I'll
interacting
interact with
it.
you.
Literally, yeah, yeah. But I can see what like a movie star like they do more of a paid job than people tend to realize.
Right.
Yeah.
They clock in more.
This is their 9 to 5.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
No, I actually don't think he's wrong for it. I think he's a little mean.
I agree. I don't love it, but I think I can justify it more.
I agree. And honestly, if I'm out and about, I probably would not approach an actor or anybody like that. I'm like, I don't want to be weird. I don't make you uncomfortable because you happen to be at the same restaurant as me. I don't know.
I know that at my job, because we do get celebrities in, like if you ever ask them for anything, really acknowledge that they're famous, you get fired.
Period.
Which that's not really relevant. It's just feel like it's somewhere in
Yeah.
there.
Of making them feel like they're a normal person going to a restaurant and not like
Yeah.
they have to
A
like.
zoo animal.
They send
Yeah.
out mass emails too. They're like, listen, if any of you little hoes get on here and ask them for anything, and if you see anyone famous out here and you dox them and you leak their location, we're actually going to kill you.
Don't make us.
And
look
it's almost,
dumb.
that's almost verbatim.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know what? I get it.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think that's the end of that episode. Now we have 3 trivia questions that.
Yes.
Are they themed or are they just trivia?
The trivia, I did pick 3 questions that are very specific to entertainment and celebrities. Yeah. So I have 3 that are themed, and then I have 2 more if we want 2 more, but we can always save them for later that are not themed.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to try and write one-handed.
Oh, yeah, because
with my
Lauren's
left
fro
hand.
really gets in her
It
way.
really gets in my way. We're gonna see how this goes.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to give you your earbud or
It's
different
fine. I
headphones.
like the big one. Okay, Taylor, can you hold that?
Yeah.
I say as I've already put it on you.
Yeah, I can. Okay. Let me hide the answer here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. What was Taylor Swift's first song to chart on the Billboard Hot 100?
Oh my god, I don't know.
If you were a true Swiftie, you would know.
Well,
I don't know for sure, but I do have a gut instinct.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think of what songs are on debut. Okay, Riley, you go first.
Tim McGraw.
Hey, that's what I said.
You guys are both
Tim
correct.
McGraw. Let's
Hell
go.
yeah.
That's actually very impressive.
So we are Swifties.
And it's a good song.
That is
Yeah.
a good song.
When you
And then,
Tim McGraw.
what's that Tim McGraw song that they did a duet on?
Highway.
Yeah,
can't remember the rest
like
of
the
it, but-
Highway Don't Break or something.
Yes.
Classic.
I love that.
Okay, I am keeping score, so let me make my little tally real quick.
You guys did both get that point, and it was impressive,
Slay.
actually.
Okay,
I
need
didn't
to
think you'd get
switch
that.
What hand I'm doing this with?
See, so I need to lock in.
Okay. Hold on. I keep pushing these down with my phone. Okay. What is Rihanna's real name?
Oh, I don't even know.
I knew.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Do you want last name too?
I mean, if you have
That's
it.
insane. I'm gonna go with Rihanna.
Watch me be wrong. Watch me be so cocky and it's not even correct.
God, I can't even like guess. This is Pocahontas all over again. I don't know. I really don't know. I put Jewel.
It's Robin.
It's Robin Fenty.
Yeah.
She is correct.
Do we see this? Do we see Robin Fenty?
Oh, from Fenty makeup. That would have made more sense.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
That was impressive, Lauren. So far, you're 2 for 2.
Yeah, this is actually gonna be really embarrassing because I'm actually very locked in to pop culture.
See, that's the thing. I'm like,
Speaking of
I feel like
parasocial,
she's gonna know. All right, last one. What Minnesota town was actress Winona Ryder born in?
no idea. I don't
Minnesota?
know any Minnesota
It's a
towns.
Minnesota town that actress Winona Ryder was born in.
I don't know any towns in Minnesota.
Winnipeg. It's not Minnesota.
What's the capital?
Minneapolis.
Taylor.
I know it's
Scare
not
her
correct.
freebie.
I know it's not correct. I literally need a city. So
All right. I don't even know if this is in Minnesota, but something in my heart says it might be. Lake Missoula.
I do think that actually is in Minnesota.
That was a cool pull. We all waiting.
Minneapolis.
Oh yeah, Minneapolis.
She is in fact born in Winona.
That was
It's her
good.
name.
That was
It's
good.
her name.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Lose my
Can
mind.
anyone pronounce where Taron Egerton was born?
That's
Nobody can.
crazy.
25 letters long.
That
Absolutely
is one
not.
of the wildest things ever.
Well, Riley, do you want her to do the other two? It's 2-1 right now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these ones are not themed. These are just random.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, then I'm not gonna get them.
Lauren's like, well, in that case, we're out.
Yeah, I actually don't want to play.
Okay. So we're all familiar with the Halloween custom of carving pumpkins,
Yes.
which is in fact an appropriated custom from the Celtic religion. But
didn't
back
know
in the
that.
day,
This is so out of left field, though. Like my
It
brain
is.
can't comprehend. Okay, keep going.
so back in the day, the Celts would light them with embers and ward off evil spirits. And this is the origin of modern pumpkin carving. But what vegetable did the Celts use? Because they didn't use pumpkins.
Butternut squash. They didn't use pumpkins.
They did not use pumpkins.
Well, they should have.
They didn't have pumpkins. So
I just saw your Lauren. Lauren is one of these.
Sorry.
It's
Sorry.
also misspelled.
And I'm keeping it like that.
Cool. So I was gonna go with watermelon.
Watermelon?
Nah.
it is a vegetable.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I'm just
Actually,
going to let you know.
whatever. Lauren's probably right. I went
I don't
with
think I am right.
carrot.
I went with potato. Spelled like a toe.
It is, in fact, a turnip.
Well, I don't think that those should be given any. I don't think we
Yeah.
should give turnips any platform.
You should actually
ew.
look it up. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
They're horrifying.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
Town.
Anyway.
I've never met a turnip that wasn't.
All right.
Is this the final one?
This
This
does
is.
remind me. I do have to just input this slightly. That one time, when Taylor and I were growing up, we went to a dinner party and there's supposed to be like mashed potatoes is how they served this dish. Yeah, and they didn't say it was potatoes, but everything
looked
else,
like.
all context clues led to this is mashed potatoes.
Right.
But I should have known because they're extremely healthy people, and they tried to pull some crap on that. And I bit into it, and it was mashed turnips.
Was it disgusting?
It was horrible.
I think it was parsnips, but like same energy. It's like
Pass,
not good.
pass.
Disgusting.
All right, last one.
Okay. How many states in the U.S. allow first cousin marriage without restriction?
Too many. I should be putting 0, guys.
I should make.
I should be putting 0. That's
Hey,
insane.
speaking of vision boards,
Yeah.
let's write what it should be.
And I know they're in the deep south, if I had to guess. If I had to point on a map.
Okay, and then a bonus question. We'll get to that after you guys write down a number.
Is it going to be which states?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That it is which states, but I want to give you the number
All
before
right,
you.
I have my number.
Okay.
Me too.
I put 6 states.
I put 4, and then I also started with Alabama because I know it's going to be on there.
Okay, so now I'm going to write out what state I think it is.
Do you want the actual number, or do you
Yes.
just
Yes,
want?
yes.
It's 17.
17?
It's 17 states, and then there's an additional, I think, 5 that you can get married, but there's restrictions. Like
I'm not writing out 17
I'm not
states.
writing
I
out
was
17.
barely
no,
writing out 6.
no. The bonus question is, can you name 5?
Oh,
Can you name 5
okay.
of the 17?
I think Lauren's probably onto something.
Yeah, I can start there. What are other southern states? Again,
There's some real surprises in this list of like you don't see it coming.
I'm going red and blue, baby.
are these even states?
They are.
Okay.
They are.
Okay. I want to double check. What's a surprise one?
I'm thinking about Wyoming, and I'm like, I've never heard anything that says it did or
I
didn't.
feel like that joke would have been made, surely.
True, we
right?
did love a joke.
Loved a
We
joke.
did love a joke. That's one thing about me.
Hey, Taylor.
Hey, Lauren.
Is Arkansas?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Is that a state?
It is a state. Yes.
I'm just so afraid that I'm gonna put his city and I'm gonna get clowned.
She goes like Missoula.
Exactly. I have to do 5.
Yeah.
I'm hitting it with a crushing last one.
Okay.
Yeah, I hit it with a crushing main at the end.
Oh, what'd you say, Riley?
Alabama, Kentucky, Oregon, Virginia, and Maine.
I said Alabama, Kentucky, Rhode Island, just throwing a curveball, Arkansas, and Texas.
You both did get. Let me see yours again.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm sure we got Alabama.
You both got Alabama. That is correct.
Yeah.
And Riley got Virginia. Let me
Slay.
see yours. You got Alabama again. You actually got Rhode Island, which was good.
I forget Rhode Island is a state.
Yeah. And yeah, that's it. That's all the only ones you guys got.
What else?
So the states are Alabama, California, Colorado.
I was gonna do Colorado, and then I was like, they're too normal.
Isn't it weird?
That is weird.
Connecticut, Florida, Georgia,
Florida.
Yeah.
Maryland, Massachusetts, New Jersey.
I was gonna
York,
do New Jersey too.
and New York, New
Anything with a
Mexico,
ringwood in it.
North Carolina, Rhode Island, South Carolina, Tennessee,
South Carolina is good. Some freaks out there.
Vermont, and Virginia. Wyoming is one of the states where it's illegal.
Wyoming is.
Where it's legal.
Illegal.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, at least we got one thing right.
And actually, Maine is one of the states that falls under. I remember I didn't write these ones down, but I remember Maine specifically. It's legal with restrictions.
What does that mean?
It
what
means
are the
you can marry your
restrictions?
first cousin, but you have to get genetic counseling. Like
Well,
they'll
they're
allow
gonna-
it, but like
What is that?
I'm gonna say no.
yeah. But like you have to get a counselor to come in and basically tell you the consequences of like having kids if you're first cousins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
And then there are other states. Arizona's one where you can get married, but you're only allowed to get married once you're past the age of childbearing. You can't get married while you can still have kids.
At least that one makes sense.
Yeah.
At least that one has some kind of basis in reality.
The logic.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Wait, what state was it with childbearing?
Arizona's one.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, that is interesting. It's upsetting. It's interesting. There's a lot to unpack with that.
It's obviously not super common still. Like, I mean, it does happen, but it's actually not that common in the United States. It's just interesting.
Agreed.
That was wild. We learned a lot.
Yeah. Thanks for coming up with those.
Yep.
I would say that's everything for this episode. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.